Agents, today I'm going to give you 10 specific tips on how to optimize your real estate content that will help you rank in local search results. This is Josh with EasyAgentPro, and this video is based off our experience building thousands of websites for agents, and it's a collaborative blog post that we did with Brian Dean from backlinko.com. Brian is the resource for search engine optimization, and his website is a great place to geek out on SEO. But today I'm going to give you 10 specific tips for real estate content. So listen up. Tip number one, make sure that your keyword is strategically placed throughout your website and specifically in your URL. Most experts agree that the URL is a key indicator for search engines and letting them know what your content is about. We also recommend you put it in your title tag. Google has said many times that title tags and header tags are very important ways to communicate what your content is about to search engines. Lastly, we recommend using that keyword string at least 3 or 4 more times in the content. While this is an important step, it's critical to make sure that your keywords are not forced into the content and that it's easy to read for the reader. The days of keyword stuffing are long gone, and Google's algorithm can actually pick up on this pretty easily. If you're an EasyAgentPro lead site user, we actually have tools on the back end that tell you how many times your keyword has been used in the content, and we give you a grade on SEO. If you're building your own website through WordPress or something like that, Yoast is a free plugin that can help you with some of these things. Tip number 2, make sure that you use synonyms and relative phrases to your keywords. And this also gives Google a better understanding of what your article is about. If your article is real estate related, make sure you're using terms like homes, house hunting, and mortgage, for example. If your article is about a neighborhood, make sure you use the nickname of the neighborhood, make sure you're referencing the zip code, any sort of abbreviation or school district for that particular neighborhood. These are all important things. And what you're basically doing here is creating this web of relative information around your keyword, and it's helping the search engine understand what your content is about. Some people will actually create this list before they write the content to make sure they check everything off and make sure they're using it. If you need help with keywords, we have additional content on that, so go to our YouTube channel and check that out. Tip number 3, make sure you use original photos, not something stock, not something that's on a competitive website, and make sure that your keyword is put into the alt text of the photo. Photos that are original to your page show Google that your page and your content is unique, and people may not be able to get that information from somewhere else. The alt text is also called alt tags, and these are essentially words that you can embed into a photo that if for some reason your photo doesn't load on the page, this text shows up. This text is also used by screen readers to describe a page to people who are visually impaired. This is a great area to add your keyword and rich descriptions of the photo, and it also gives you a great shot at ranking your image in Google's image results. Our lead site has tools and forms where you can just enter in this information for your photos, but you can also do this in Photoshop or other graphic programs before importing into your website. Quick pro tip on this, smartphone photos are fine. Just make sure it's original. And I even like smartphone photos because if you enable your location in the photo, it'll actually embed your latitude and longitude, and search engines can pick up on that and see that it's truly a local photo. And this is a great signal for local SEO. Tip number 4, set up internal links to other pages on your site relative to this content. And we recommend at least 5. And ideally, these articles need to be relative. For example, if you're writing about your local town or neighborhood, you may want to have a page about the schools. You may want to have a page about the local government. You may want to have a page about shopping or entertainment. So in your key page, you want to tease and reference these things and then link out to another page that goes into detail about them. Now what you're doing here is you're creating, again, this web of information. And when Google is assessing your content, they're actually giving you credit for anything that's additionally linked out from the key page. And this lets Google know that you are an authority on the topic. And a quick pro tip on this, try to use some of those relative synonyms and phrases that we talked about in the previous tip. Tip number 5, make sure you have a lead capture strategy, and I would suggest you planning it out as you're writing the content. Your website should have lead capture all over the place. There should be ways to contact you on the top of the page, contact form at the bottom of the page. If you're writing about a specific neighborhood, there's a good chance that the reader may be interested in buying a home there one day. So it may be a good idea to, in the middle of your article, say, are you interested in buying a home in this neighborhood? Sign up for new listing alerts. Now what you want to do is you want to have some sort of flexibility to play around with these call to actions, change the button color or the phrasing in the button or the form, photos in the form. If you're a lead site user, we have a feature called Smart Pop-Up that allows you to change all of this, and a little bitty form will pop up on any page. You can build it yourself without a developer, and you can change the message on the form and test it out. If you're building a custom site, you may want to try some sort of plugin like contact forms, or just have a developer give you some advice on this. Tip number 6, showcase any local reviews that you have. Now you can do this through a plugin or you can do this through optimized images, but this works for you in 2 different ways. One, it's showing the person who is reading your content that you are an authority in the area. And you want to make sure that this review has some sort of relativity to the content. If it's a specific neighborhood or town, try to have the review actually mention the town or the neighborhood. These are not only good social proof for services, but having that additional reference to the local area or town that you're writing about is also a good indicator for the search engines. Tip number 7, write at least 1,000 words of content. And if you're serious about ranking, 2,000 isn't going to hurt you. There have been many studies done on getting to page 1 on Google search engine results, and this is universally a variable that many experts agree on. If you can, go ahead and write more, but just make sure that the content is easily digestible for the reader. You should not have giant paragraphs. It should be bite-sized pieces of information with these title and header tags that we referenced in the previous tips. Tip number 8, make sure your page loads quickly. Ever since 2010, Google has not been shy about telling us that page load speed is crucial for ranking in local search. Now, this is a delicate balance if you're adding photos, which we definitely recommend. So make sure that your photos are not too large or too compressed. If they're too large, it'll slow your page down. If they're too compressed, the photos will be blurry. What we recommend is making sure that the long edge of the photo is no more than 1,500 pixels. Tip number 9, make sure that your name, address, and phone number is listed throughout your site, ideally in the header and the footer. And it's also really important to keep this information up to date. It should match your Yelp profile, it should match your Zillow profile, and it should match your social media accounts. If these things are different, this is a red flag for Google. Tip number 10, keep posting content frequently and keep sharing it on social media and through your email campaigns. This is not always an easy thing to stick with, so make sure you have a plan and a website that makes creating content simple and you don't have to go to a developer every single time you do it. Because the chances are, if it's difficult, you're not going to do it. Now, it's best to create original content, but it's most important to just keep publishing it. Now, you can subscribe to a service or you can pay someone to do this for you, but it's important to just keep doing it. If you're a lead site user, we supply 2 blog posts every single week. You can bring those blog posts into a staging area where you can edit them and make them more relative to your local area, or you can have the blog posts just come right in and automatically publish. Another quick pro tip on this is everyone should have their free Google My Business profile. And about 2 years ago, they started allowing us to post in these profiles. Previous to that, they were just a place for your name, photos, and information. But now they allow us to post to there. So it's a good place to put like a little bit of preview about some sort of blog post and link back to the blog post. It's also a great place to share listings or any other content that you have relative to your website. So make sure that your website is linked to your Google My Business profile, and make sure that you're just filling out those posts every once in a while and linking them back to your site. So that's it. That's our roadmap to success and 10 tips for helping you rank in local search engine results. If you're looking to produce great content or searching for a website that's easy to produce content on, click on the link below and schedule a demo for Lead Sites. Not only a website, but we're a full-blown digital marketing platform. We've recently added a CRM to help you with following up with leads. Our lead sites have lead capture all over the place, and they're so easy to produce content, upload videos, that you may never need a developer. We also have live phone support to help you when you're producing your content or give you some tips on your marketing efforts. I've also linked some more resources in the description here that are relative to this video, so check those out too. This is Josh. Thanks for tuning into the video.